everyone, thank you for tuning in to December Daily Day 20. God, can you believe we're on day 20? It's Christmas on Friday, that's mental. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in to watch this video. It means a great deal to me, and to everyone who's subscribed so far, thank you very much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. I have had a bit of an unplanned day, let's just say. I'd planned to sit down today and do the crocheted snowflakes, the little snowballs and things, like I mentioned in yesterday's video, that I would try and get done today. But that's because I didn't plan on taking my daughter horse riding. With the new restrictions and everything that came into play yesterday, I didn't expect to still be able to take her. And then I saw on Facebook early this morning that she could still go. So where I'd planned to have a nice big roast dinner this afternoon, and while that was cooking crochets and snowflakes, they didn't work out like that. So, but it's okay, it worked out better because she got to do horse riding and she was really happy with that. Because of the different areas and because of where the children travel from to do horse riding, they come from areas that are not in tier 4. So there was literally my daughter and one other girl riding, and they did a jumping lesson. So it was a great day for her. She was really, really happy because they got to do loads of jumping. Because normally there are 6 people in the lesson. So obviously by the time 6 people have been around once and twice, and they probably get to jump about 4 times maybe within the hour. So yeah, she got to do loads today, so she's really happy. So obviously I'm documenting that. I took a photo of her with the horse, and then I'm going to add a little label just explain that she managed to go horse riding today, so that was a nice little surprise. And we stopped in at Krispy Kreme on the way home. They've got a drive-through on the way back from horse riding. So we just stopped and got a box of Christmassy donuts for pudding, because why not? So I hope you've all had a good day. Today's definitely a better day than yesterday. So yeah, we've had a better day than yesterday. A better day than I expected to have today. I expected just to have a day at home, you know, like I say, roast dinner, crochet some snowflakes, just to give me something to do today. But I'll probably do that tomorrow. So yeah, apologies that it's not being done here, but that's just sometimes the way of it, I guess. Especially at the moment, we're just going to take what we can at the minute. All the things that we can do, I think we have to just do. Obviously put things on the back burner for later. It will definitely come. In fact, I've got my crochet stuff sitting in front of me here now, but it's just getting too late in the day now to start doing that, and I want to do it properly and show you properly, you know, how to make one. So what I've done here, like I say, my daughter went horse riding. I took a photo of her with the horse. I put the photo corners behind it naturally, and I'm going to do a label in a few minutes. The doily image behind it was printed on sticker paper. I had that in my ephemera folder already, so I've just stuck that on the page to give that photo a nice background. I took a photo of the donuts, and I've just backed that onto some cardstock you see here. And I like the blue because it kind of ties in with the blue sky in the background of the photo, so it kind of brings those 2 pages together, for me anyway. I was going to use a label to label the donuts up, but it just kind of looked weird on the page. I didn't love it, so I've cut the text out like I normally do in strips. But I am going to peel it up in a minute because there's just too much white space down the bottom there, and it, I mean, look at that, come on, it can't, you can't just leave it like that. So I will peel the text up in a minute and add a Santa napkin behind it. But yeah, while I was thinking about what I could do with that space, I thought I'll type up the label. And I've done my usual trick where I've washi it onto a bigger piece of paper, and I'm just doing the text, basically describing that Phoebe went horse riding today and that she had a jumping lesson, and there were only the 2 of them. So I'm sticking the label on, and that completes the left-hand page. Really simple page, but I think it's really effective with that doily behind it. I like the way that looks. And I'm going to use a Santa on the side of this page. It took me a minute to figure out how I was going to do it. I started peeling the writing up, and it wouldn't come up straight away. I managed to get it up cleanly without splitting the text or anything up. And I've just gone and got a different piece of the Santa napkin. and I'm cutting it out. So before I was just going to stick the Santa face down, but this time I've decided to practically cover the bottom of the page with the Santa napkin. So I'm cutting him out, including like the tree branches that are around him as well, and I think it looks much better than it would have done if it was just Santa's face, because it would still have been that white space. So yeah, looking at it now, it looks really good. I did muck it up a little bit though, and I left it in. I mean, I couldn't have peeled it up if I wanted to because it's a napkin, so it would never. So what I tried to do was peel that photo up that I've stuck onto the cardstock to see if I can then like push the Santa napkin underneath to give it a nice clean edge. Couldn't do that because it's really well and truly stuck down with that tacky glue. So I've cut a line at the top, and yeah, I've basically tried to just even it up as best I can, but it doesn't quite work out that way. But yeah, you'll see in a second anyway how I managed to fix it. The glue that I'm using is a tacky glue. I would normally use my Yoo-hoo stick for this, or a Pritt stick or something of that kind, just because it's easier. But I'm running out. I thought I had another one. I'm pretty sure I do somewhere, but I couldn't find it when I started doing this spread. So yeah, I would normally use like a Pritt stick or of that sort. I did forget to take the backing off the napkin as well, so I stuck it down first, quickly peeled it back up, thinking all the backing would just peel up and all be stuck to the glue still, but it didn't, luckily, and I managed to get the backing off, so it's just the one layer of the napkin that I'm sticking down here, and I'm just positioning the Santa where I feel it's best. But of course there's that little bit of overhang, obviously on the edges, which is fine, I'll trim that off. And then on the top here, there was an overhang on the picture, and I wanted a nice clean edge where it kind of, you know, slotted up nicely against the picture. But you know, it's a napkin; they're not that forgiving. So I've tried to tear it a little bit using my nail as a bit of a guide. Didn't quite work. It was looking a bit messy. Tried to cut it, but I couldn't get the scissors right up to the edge where it was stuck. So yeah, it ended up just being a bit of a moment. Like I had to improvise. But these, you know, these kinds of things are fine. Sometimes that's how a spread comes together nicely, because you muck it up somewhere, so you're forced to add something else, and actually that something else is exactly what the spread needed. So I've left it. You can see it's just getting worse and worse. I'm ripping it more and more. You can see now, look, it looks a mess. So at this point I had to just give in and just gotta recognise that it wasn't going to get better. The more I faffed with it, it was just going to get worse. So I stopped it. I'm trimming it up now as best I can around the edges. You can see obviously it hangs over the page, so I'm going to trim all that off, and then I will add the letters, the text back on over the top. I'll just glue those down again, and they look just, you know, as if they were never pulled up in the first place. And on this bit here as well, where the tab is, I also mucked that up a little. Doing that there, I've literally just pulled some of the image off. So in my head at this point, I'm thinking, oh, for crying out loud. I'm literally just not having a good time with this napkin. I don't know why it's being so difficult. I'm just making it a little more difficult than it needs to be, I think. So anyway, I fixed this bit at the top with some washi. Simples, washi fixes everything. And to balance it out, I also added a bit at the top of this image as well, which I think looks great. And then on the right hand side where the tab is, I'm going to add a bit of holly. I also mucked that up. God, it's just one of those days today where this spread was just, I think it was one of those times where the spread was just happening for me, because I hadn't planned to add that washi, but actually it looks really good. And then I'm going to add a bit of holly on the right hand side, which again I wasn't going to add, but it looks really good. So, you know, happy little accidents in the to paraphrase Bob Ross. I also, look, this is where I messed the holly up. I tried to peel it up again just to reposition it, and I pulled the berries off. So I've left the holly in place. I've added some Fabri-Tac, and I've got these red sparkly dots. So I'm going to add one of those. I was originally just going to stick the little beads of the holly back down, but actually I've added this little red dot, which I think gives it a little bit of something different. So I'm going to trim this Krispy Kreme bit of the box like, it's not a label, it's just a bit of the packaging you saw me cut out at the beginning of the video, and I'm going to staple it onto the page. And my stapler is not very good, you have to really whack it to get it to actually staple, so I cut that out. So all that's left to do on this spread is add the numbers. And like I say, these happy little accidents have brought the page together. I really like the washi and the holly on the right hand side there. I like the fact that the Santa goes right across the bottom of the page as well, so you see some of that greenery in there. So yeah, overall I just like how this spread is actually, or has turned out. I might add in my numbers, which obviously just completes the page. So yeah, it was a bit of a mishmash. Mash? Oh lordy, I can't even speak now. Yeah, it's a bit of a haphazard journaling entry, but I'm really happy the way it's come together. It looks really good, and I can forever remember the yummy donuts that we got to eat this evening, and we've actually all got one each left for tomorrow. So just taking a look at yesterday's page, it just needed a few little touches, I think. So I'm adding some holly on the corner of that photo, which I just feel gives it a little bit of something, a little bit of movement on that page, because it's otherwise quite flat. And I'm also just adding this strip of green Santa washi, because I felt this page just needed, again, something else. It needed some green. And this is a kind of thing that my son would do in his journal, and it just kind of reminds me of him. He was actually sitting with me this evening while I was doing my journaling, and he was sticking some things in his Christmas book as well. And he was using the washi tapes, so I wanted to use some of the green Santa washi here in my spread as well. So that's just brought that together nicely. I'm not going to really add anything more to that. The photo here, I'm not going to mess around with tonight. It needs doing bigger. I need to add a label and stuff onto the back. I looked at it and thought, oh no, I just can't. I'll do it another day. Here's the lights as well that I mentioned yesterday that I completed from the Belton House spread, and I also added a stamp from this year. And that is it done for tonight. That's my journaling. So thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow. Bye for now.